snake! I'll crush you into dust!
So there you go. You have defeated Rex. But the game's not over yet. Still have a few more things to do. Because Liquid is still alive.
Sleeping late as usual, eh, Snake?
Liquid, you're still alive.
I won't die, as long as you still live.
Too bad. It looks like your revolution was a failure.
Just because you've destroyed Metal Gear doesn't mean I'm done fighting.
Fighting? What are you really after?
The restoration of the era when warriors such as us lived as we should.
That was Big Boss's fantasy.
It was his dying wish. When he was young during the Cold War, the world needed men like us. We were valued then. We were desired. But things are different now. With all the liars and hypocrites running the world, war isn't what it used to be. We're losing our place in a world that no longer needs us. A world that now spurns our very existence. You should know that as well as I do. After I launch this weapon and get our $1 billion, we'll be able to bring chaos and honor back to this world gone soft. Conflict shall breed conflict, new hatreds will arise, and our own biosphere shall steadily expand.
Yeah,
But as long as
so
there are people,
as you can hear,
there will always be
I mean,
war.
it's not horrible by any means,
the
but
problem is balance.
the voice
Father
acting here
knew
is
what type
also
of
a bit
balance was
over the
best.
top. It's a
Is
bit
that
too
the only
much,
reason?
Isn't that
at least at
reason
times.
enough
Maybe
for
not
warriors
through
such as us?
this entire speech or whatever,
I
but
don't want that kind of world.
it's still
You
not as
lie.
good as in the original.
So why are you here then? Why do you continue to follow your orders while your superiors betray you? Why did you come here? Well, I'll tell you then. You enjoy all the killing, that's why.
What?
Are you denying it? Haven't you already killed most of my comrades?
That was...
I watched your face as you delivered the coup de grace. Oh, it reflected such vitality.
You're wrong.
That line change,
There is a
again.
killer inside you.
Line
You
change that I
have
don't
to
really
deny
like.
it.
Not horrible
We
or
were
anything, but
created to be that way.
in the original it says, I watched your face as you killed them, or whatever. It says something, I watched your face as you killed them. It was filled with the joy of battle.
That's what the project was called. It
So I
started
don't
in the
really know if I like to
1970s.
change that, or was
Their
it...
plan was to artificially create the most powerful soldier
it reflected
possible.
such vitality or something.
The person that they chose as the model
Not
was a
exactly
man
as good
known
as
then
I
as
think,
the
but-
greatest living soldier in the world.
Big Boss.
But Father was wounded in combat and already in a coma when they brought him in. So they created us from his cells, with a combination of 20th century analog cloning and the super baby method.
Super baby method.
They fertilized an egg with one of Father's cells, and then let it divide into 8 clone babies. Then they transferred the clones to someone's uterus, and later intentionally aborted 6 of the fetuses to encourage strong fetal growth.
So this is where
You
you
and I
first
were
learn...
originally octuplets.
where we first learn that
Yes.
Snake is actually a clone,
brothers were sacrificed
or
to
how
make
that
us.
works.
We were accomplices in murder before the day we were even born. So, it was you and I, two fertilized eggs with exactly the same DNA. But they weren't finished
And that they
yet.
created Liquid
They
and
used me as a guinea
Solid Snake
pig
to
create a
try and
phenotype
create
in which all
the
of
ultimate
dominant
soldier.
genes were expressed to create you. I got all the recessive genes. You took everything from me before I was even born. But you and I aren't his only children.
What?
The Genome Soldiers. They too are his progeny, carrying on his genetic legacy. But unlike us, they carry it digitally. With the completion of the Human Genome Project in the last century, the mysteries of humanity were laid bare. Thanks to Father's DNA,
And
they
these
were able to identify
little scenes
more
here,
than
these
60
live-action
soldier
parts,
genes responsible for
are
everything
updated
from
or whatever. They
strategic thinking
aren't the
to
exact same
proverbial
clips they used in the
killer
original
instinct.
game.
Those soldier genes were transplanted.
That's perfectly
using
okay, I
gene
don't know.
therapy
And as you
into
see
the
here, they also
members
have
of the
some
next generation special forces.
clips of
That's how they
in-game
became
footage or
the Genome Soldiers.
in-game or meshes from the game or whatever.
That's right.
In the original, at that part, they
Genome
just
soldiers
showed
that
some
you've
live-action
been
footage
killing
from
right and left
Gulf
are
War or
our
something like that.
brothers
We
with
just,
the same genes as ours.
The Genome Soldiers?
but both works is just two different
They are
clips,
misshapen
two different
creatures, artificially produced from
yeah,
Father's genetic
two
pattern.
different sets of video
They are
clips,
our
video
blood brothers,
files of
and
what
they
one
were
wants to
born
call it.
of
It
many an ultimate
doesn't really matter
sacrifice.
anyway. I just wanted to point that out, that that's also a thing that they updated.
Human experiments. 1991, the Gulf War. The military secretly injected soldiers with the soldier genes. The Gulf War syndrome that hundreds of thousands of returning soldiers complained about was a side effect of it.
Ha! Everyone knows that the Gulf War syndrome was caused by exposure to pesticides and radiation from depleted uranium rounds.
That was just a cover story issued by the Pentagon. First, they tried to say it was post-traumatic stress disorder, then chemical or biological weapons.
And I actually like that they've
Poison
included
gas
some
detection
live-action
units and
footage
the
into these
anti-sarin
games, and they have in
injections. They
several of
were
the
all
other
just
Metal
to cover
Gear
up the
games too.
secret
But
genetic
I just think it's
experiments.
cool. It's kind of
So
neat.
then, the so-called Gulf War babies that have been reported by Gulf War veterans are...
Yes, they too are our brothers and sisters.